going to be not so positively impacted, in fact negatively impacted, is going to be the aerated beverage market. Joining us now is Sridhar, the head of tax at Coca Cola. Mr. Sridhar, appreciate you joining us. You're clearly not a happy man today, are you?
First of all, congratulations to both the GST Council and the Government of India and the states for having taken it forward to such a level. We are very well happy that the proceedings has culminated in the GST rates. That is as far as the rates are concerned. Secondly, the rates of any particular commodity is the decision of the sovereign, and as a responsible company, we appreciate the decision of the sovereign. The second aspect. The third aspect, because since I am from the tax field, I would like to restrict myself to the technical aspects of the cess levy. I think the previous speaker was also talking about the economies of GST and a wonderful GST model, what all it will help and render the industry. I will now pose three major points on the technical side of a cess. Now, if the cess can be levied in two different ways. If it is levied as a top-up inside the GST as a supply-based tax, then the event would be a supply. Suppose the government uses its residual taxable power under entry 97 and go for a separate law for cess, then the taxable event could be manufactured. Then, if you do that way, then you are destroying the functionality or the commonality of this whole approach which I wanted for cess. Which I wanted for the tax. That I can do away with depots. There will be no distinction between own goods versus goods produced in other plants, or goods produced in my plant A versus produced in plant B. This was all the advantage of a supply-based tax. I'm now on the focus on the point of the technicalities of the cess. All this substitution or this addition levy would now take away the advantages which were ingrained in the draft model law. This is R1. This is all extremely technical. Much you would come to know once the final draft.
No, it is extremely technical, but just on the point of the cess, what is the current tax incidence, for instance, on aerated beverages? And the sense seems to be that that the government believes that this is a tax that is imposed by in other countries as well, and like tobacco, aerated beverages will probably have to deal with a higher tax component by way of a cess. So, what is the implication of the cess that you anticipate now?
See, first of all,
given the fact that the de facto demerit rate is 28%.
First of all, I would like to confirm something from a technical perspective. Aerated beverages are not sin. So let's not use the word sin for aerated beverages. Okay, that's the first thing. Second is as far as the view is it's a part of the demerit category. Then looking at that decision also internationally, wherever there is a unified VAT, then there is no matured excise tax and a state VAT tax. India is a federal system of tax, so we already have a matured excise levy and a matured VAT levy. So you can't talk about a third topping up. In European economies, there is a single tax, so there is a single topping up. There is no 1 plus 2 in Europe. Today we are talking about 2 plus 1. Please, let's not compare oranges with apples.
Okay. Well, Mr. Sridhar, my short point is what Shreen was trying to arrive at is what is the tax you are currently paying? Because what we were given to understand is that the current taxes will not be disturbed. The cess will be current rate minus 28.
I can't say anything. I also heard CNBC has disturbed the TV at 5 p.m. and I got this information. Unless we get to know what are the final cess rates, I don't think so that comment would be preposterous to make, isn't it? It would be a statement.
No, Mr. Sridhar, what is your current tax rate?
Yeah, it would be upwards of 32%, because in certain states we still pay octroi. As we are talking, we are paying octroi in Maharashtra, which is an unintegrated tax.
Okay.
So we are paying in many municipalities, though LBT has been taken away. In Mumbai Municipal Corporation today we are paying
LBT.
We are paying LBT, which is otherwise octroi.
Yeah.
And in states like Orissa and Madhya Pradesh, we are paying entry taxes. That is non-integrated. And cess is another point which, Sridhar, I must mention to you. It's a non-integrated tax. That means I can't use a CNVAT credit to pay cess. I would like to focus my points only on the technical aspects. Then the entire concept of integration, which was born in the year 1986-87 for inputs, in 2004 for services, which we thought we will mature with the GST regime. Technically, that the entire maturity of the concept of integration will not happen.
Well, Mr. Sridhar, would you, I mean, I'm deriving two things from what you said. If it is 28% plus, as you say, at the moment you are at 32%, so it would be a 4% cess. Would that kind of leave you where you are now? And secondly, yeah, please go ahead. Will that leave you where you are?
I can answer that question. That when they decide the cess, that question would be answered. It would be very irresponsible on my part.
No. What I'm asking you is that would that be a
principle that the government is working with on the cess?
Yeah, maybe they are working on the same principle. Maybe they are working on the same principles.
Unset in 5 years. So
Okay,
this
sir.
integration that you are talking about may not be here, but it is not so far away either. It is going to mature into that, Mr.
Madam,
Sridhar.
5 years is too long a time to talk about.
Fair point.
Fair point, Mr. Sridhar. Thanks very much for joining us. That's R. Sridhar, Head of Tax at Coca Cola.